I'm Tommy Vance, and I'm in a dress. Who wants it? Welcome to Dumb&Dumber, the show where life's losers are exposed for what they really are. Really stupid! Klein Hogg has a brand new helicopter. He doesn't know how to fly it. He's waiting for an instructor to show him how. Klein's an old man with the patience of a child.
He told me to go and start it up, warm it up. So I went out, I started it up, and I'm sitting there, time passing, and I'm getting hotter under the collar.
Here's Jim Sconiers, whirlybird expert, on the lookout for danger.
The minute the Klein Hogg got in that aircraft, I knew he was going to have a problem.
Like a teenage boy with a top-shelf magazine, Klein doesn't understand the phrase, leave well alone.
So I'm sitting there, and I figured, well, I'll just take it up to point of takeoff.
Jim walks up to have a word.
I said, what are you doing in here, man? Get your ass out of this helicopter. You're going to get hurt. He says he don't care. He's not waiting for anybody. He's just going to hover. I said, well, then I'm just going to get my video camera because he's going to kill himself.
Minutes away from starting a new career as a snuff movie director, Jim starts filming. Klein's ready for his close-up.
Instant panic.
Off the ground, Klein loses control of the chopper. It's whirling like a great metal dervish.
I pulled on the wrong thing. When you panic, you make mistakes. You shouldn't panic.
Pulling on the wrong thing, leave it. You don't want your maiden over to be your last innings, but that's exactly where Klein's headed. The camera work goes to rubbish. Just look at it. The chopper spins right round like a record baby. It hits the ground like bad fruit. But miraculously, Klein is spared.
Hogg, are you all right? Mr. Hogg was in great shape, considering the mess that he made out of that helicopter. You can see what's left of it. Not much here. Kind of depressing sight. Looks like about $25,000 just shot in the ass.
School's out for the summer, so the kids make their own fun. Meet Sean Fisk and friend, body doubles for a pair of idiots. Nerves can cripple the bravest, and Sean is not the bravest. He covers his terror by playing with his shirt.
It was an expensive shirt, and I didn't want to ruin it.
So that's what a coward's stomach looks like. Sean bottles it again, so his mate shows him how it's done. Decades pass, and Sean's still teetering on the edge like a Marianne.
I was chickening out for about a little bit, but I got over my fears and I just did it.
But a fool and his balance are easily parted.
Oh my God. Are you awake?
The reason why I decided to attempt a stunt was because I felt that it was time to do it, and obviously it wasn't.
Don't blame time.
Oh, my ankle.
You're the concept of foolishness made flesh. Did you think you'd float?
The worst I could do was, you know, fall down and cut myself up, but I didn't think I'd, like, knock myself out.
Is your face all right?
It felt like someone punched me really, really hard in the face. It's like getting hit by the world's strongest man.
Dean's a daredevil, and just in case he ever forgets, he's written it on himself.
I jump off buildings and bridges, and I love it.
Dean's a daredevil and nobody cares, so it's time to do something that'll make the world sit up and take notice.
I thought, well, hell, I can land on that cruise ship, not a problem.
Yes, Dean targets this floating old folks' home like a bungee-jumping Meals on Wheels service. Come on then, Spider-Man, do your worst. He's a blur. You can hardly see him. Oh, there he is, going very slowly.
The problem was that the bag jammed with the rope in it, so I had to keep pulling and pulling. It was knotting up inside, and then it finally worked, but I was 2 seconds behind.
But all the science in the world isn't gonna help. And now, more maths.
I'm dropping at probably 60-some miles an hour. The cruise ship's going 30 kilometers an hour. It's a recipe for a disaster if it's not done perfectly.
And it wasn't done perfectly. No, Dean thumps into the tennis court.
Oh, it didn't matter.
That's not what we mean by a grand slam.
He bounced off the net, eh?
Well, Dean's plan got him noticed. Now he's in the Observer Book of Fools.
They could pull him up and wait for the next one.
Enter the Dragon and exit common sense. Here's some would-be martial artists, but they're no Bruce Lees, as the teacher's about to find out. Referee! That's definitely a foul. One bright bloke tries to make an origami bird out of the instructor. It's all hands to the pump. And Phoenix-like, he rises. But not for long. He's down again, and he's not getting up. It was love at first sight for this bride, and now her groom's falling for her all over again. Yes, you've read about these people, and now we have proof that they actually exist. First of the wedding party to arrive is the usher. A strip of grass next to the busy main road isn't the safest place to land, but he doesn't give a monkey's. Next comes the best man. Avoiding the road, he aims for the car park.
I did a little bit of damage to the car.
Here comes the groom, into a tree. Fire, the warmest of the elements. This is Mr. Inferno, an attention-seeking pyromaniac from Australia. He likes nothing more than setting fire to himself and jumping off things. Tonight, this public lavatory, normally a cathedral to man love, is a ramp for Mr. Inferno.
When I saw the police approaching, I decided to rush it.
His first big mistake. Rushing into a fire stunt is like shaving with a sword.
That was a bad mistake because I wasn't properly set up. The ramp wasn't at the required height. The bike wasn't in the right gear. I didn't have the required speed to make the landing pad.
After hitting the ground, Mr. Inferno still didn't stop. He's on fire today.
But I didn't expect to be on fire quite as long as I was.
Get in the tub, get in the...
But this fire won't burn itself out on its own.
I did what the policeman told me to and laid down, and he quickly doused me with a bucket full of water. Don't try this at home. I feel really stupid that I went ahead with it.
Now, that's what you call burning ambition. This is the man who put the hell into helter-skelter. Look, both hands. He's rocketing along at an alarming 3 miles an hour. This is the greatest low-speed crash you'll ever see. He gets it right in the chops. It doesn't matter what you do, Mynheer. You're not getting to the bottom with your dignity intact. Next time the kids ask you to come out to play, just let it slide. Joe and Bonnie did what thousands of couples dream of. They retired and bought themselves a boat. Perhaps unwisely, they then decided to live on it and forgot that it had a very tall mast.
When you're steering, you look ahead of you. You don't think to look up.
It's all gone Viking.
Ooh, these people are fried. Call the cops, sweetie.
The mast hits a power line and the boat's on fire. Joe appears to think he's fireproof. Either that or he's a moth drawn to the flame and going nowhere.
He's on it. He's just sitting on it.
I was standing in the dinghy saying, "You need to get in the dinghy now, hon. It's now, because I'm leaving."
Joe finally sees sense as his hull goes up in smoke. Time to jump ship.
The boat continued to burn for several hours, till eventually it burned right to the waterline.
The Coast Guard steams in, but just like Joe, these flames are stubborn.
That boat is gone.
Well, at least Joe and Bonnie have a story to tell, even if they don't have a boat to go with it.
We laugh about certain parts of it now. We call it an electrifying experience.
But bad puns won't bring the boat back, which in the circumstances is probably for the best.
Get off of that boat, dude!
Excuse me while I kiss the sky, said Jimi Hendrix. Kevin, who is nobody's idea of Jimi Hendrix, is standing on some barrels in his back garden to entertain the folks.
Is there anybody like sober enough to take Kevin to the HR or ER, or we got a
HR?
He's an accident waiting to happen.
Kevin, you're gonna fall down. Human again. Kevin's the idiot. Honey, it's going down before you even get up there. See?
He's going home in a gravity ambulance.
It's going as soon as you pull it.
Like a barrel full of cliches, Kevin hits the deck. A helping hand from Mum, then the verdict of a very smart child.
I told you Kevin's an idiot.
Why not surf down the highway where the big cars go and skate off the side of a 50-foot bridge?
I had so much going on that I didn't have time to be afraid or even think about what could happen.
But his friends found the time to build him a ramp and tie Daryl to a truck, traveling at 45 miles per hour. Are they trying to tell him something?
I got speed wobbles, and the speed wobbles were almost to the point where I thought I was going to crash before I even hit the bridge. My intentions were to just float off the end of the ramp nice and smooth and stick with my board all the way to the water.
Sadly, Daryl forgot to superglue the skateboard to his trainers, and the board makes a break for it.
I thought I was going to have a nice view up there and enjoy the scenery, but it was just chaos, and I just had to hang on for the ride. I didn't plan on doing a belly flop from 50 feet up.
But that's exactly what he did. At last, proof that being a tree surgeon is nothing like being a brain surgeon. Brain surgeons operate with chilling precision, but this bloke cuts through the tree and knocks a tree trunk through a passing windscreen. Here's a not unusual sight, a bad-tempered ram seeing red after one mint sauce gag too many. The besieged farmer holds off the 200-pound Sunday roast with a plastic bucket. Nice header. And proof that all fences should be either 80 feet high or electrified. Scared, the cameraman legs it, offering no help to the farmer, who's now in a wrestling match with giant wool stacks. A half Nelson later, and the ram is on the ground. The farmer runs for his hatchback, but it's not over yet. The ram opts for a bit of practical car criticism. It's a tank in sheep's clothing. The sheep doesn't understand, and he doesn't care. Beware of the sheep. Next time it could be you.